Hello, welcome to Zatu Games. Today we're going to take a trip to the next ice age where we'll be trying to survive and race to the boat, the last Aurora. This race survival game is from Pendragon and Ares game, and we'll be taking a look inside the box and just a little bit of how it works. Hello, welcome. Sorry about the other day. I figured out the problem with my laggy cameras, and as you can see today they are perfectly aligned. So let's take a look at the last Aurora. We will look at the components first in the real life, and then I'll flip over to Tabletop Simulator where it's all laid out, and I can just give you a brief overview of the rules. This is a sort of a race game. The race is definitely important. So yeah, you can't forget the race, but there are ways to score points outside of just racing, and that includes fighting people, bandits who turn up and things like that. So it's the end of the world as we know it, and we are in an icy tundra. The wind is my only friend. Shut up, wind. And we're trying to get to the last Aurora, which is a boat that is leaving town. So the rules, there's quite a lot of rules, and there is a specific order to them, but I managed them fine playing a solo game, and I did actually really enjoy the solo game. There's a good amount of examples. Anytime I had a question, I could find it. It was in one of two places, basically, either the initial description or the specific description. The map is double-sided for a more advanced game, and there is a solo mode which looks scarier than it is. Actually, a lot of the Ultima actions are dead simple. So yeah, fairly full rule book. Now I have got here, as well as the retail box, I have the plastic upgrade kit, so I'll show you exactly what's in that as well. So this is your Ultima action deck, and basically what's going to happen is as you go through the rounds, these represent the convoy of the Ultima, and they'll be taking damage, and damage will stop them firing weapons. So although it looks like they're an absolute beast with the weapons and the amount they travel, these will get covered up, and most of them start covered up, but they will get points for everyone that isn't covered up, or all of their survivors. It is quite an aggressive Ultima, but that's good. Then we have the board, which is a small board, doesn't need to be big. This game does take up a surprising amount of room, and you'll see why in a minute. This is the basic side, and then on the back we have a more advanced side, all split into three parts, and bandits and enemies will only attack in the leader's part, which is strategically how I won the game against the Autonomous. So we have player boards, and this is one of the reasons why the game takes a lot of space. You're going to be playing stuff to either side of the player board out in rows, including your convoy, your sorry, I've done it wrong. Your survivors, your convoy, and so on. So you have four of those for a four-player game. And here we have some of the components. You have damage tokens, and then we have the two Aurora tokens, which are one wooden, one plastic, which came from the Plastic Minis upgrade kit. Then we have all the wooden pieces, which are just discs and meeples for survivors. They don't need to be coloured in the player colours, but if you do buy the upgrade kit, instead of discs and cubes, you're going to be getting these crates, which are really cool, these tins of food, these fuel canisters, and ammo. So you're going to be getting those in enough quantities for the whole game. The tokens, though, the cardboard tokens are really good quality, nice and thick. And then in the main bulk of the plastic upgrade kit is these survivors, which you get 8 in each colour, which is actually more than you get in the kind of standard colour. In a two-player, essentially a two-player game, an Ultima game, I did not run out. I think I got, oh, you also get the trucks as well, 2 of these trucks. I think I had 6 or 7 survivors on my convoy, which would be considered a lot. Then card-wise, we have the Explore deck, which is done in 3 eras. Card quality is good. And you're going to come across enemies who, if they come out, will ambush you. You're going to come across encounters with people, survivors that will give you powers and a strength. The higher the strength, the more you can do with them. And then you're going to come across parts for your convoy. So this cannon would sit on top of one of your trailers or your truck. And then you'll come across locations that you can raid or scavenge for bits and pieces. There are some rules, like this armor piece here can only take damage. You can't store anything on it, and storage is going to be a big issue for you. You can every time you take a survivor card, you're going to have to take a survivor meeple and fit it somewhere in your convoy. When you get a white crate, you will trade it in for some objects, which are like action cards. However, if you keep these, you get a point at the end of the day, but end of the game, you can only keep 3, and they give you game-breaking powers. 3 of these are the reason I beat the Ultima. And then you have various other cards. So you've got the Ultima cards, which give you directions for how the Ultima will choose and what they will prioritize. These are really neat. These are outcome cards, and these, at the back of these and the front of these, give you your outcomes for your battles. So you'll flip one over, and then you'll look at your strength of weapon, and you'll see what happens. And then this resolves who wins the best reward from damaging an enemy. Because enemies will all have, I've forgotten here, I must have them here somewhere. Where are they? There. So enemies will all have a certain amount of health depending on the player count, and A, B, C, and D. Whenever you hit an enemy, you put one of your tokens on there, and this randomly chooses who's going to get the loot from the enemy. Everyone else will get an object card. But they also dictate the enemy attack. And then on the other side, this tells you which part of the combo they attack. So if the enemy was a level 3 enemy, they would do 1 damage on the 3rd column of your convoy, either top or bottom. You would get to choose that. And you're damaging the cargo places. The rest of the cards are all starting cards. So that's everything you get in the box. Let's flip over now to Tabletop Simulator and see how this works in practice. So here the game is set up for just set up with 4 players. There's a turn order here that works this way for exploration and the other way for firing weapons and things. And basically we'll just shove out a few different cards just to show you exactly, or keep it for later on. So there's a little spot there for those. After movement, you're going to have your firing phase. So if any enemies, have we got any enemies there? Let's have a look. Can't even find them, can I? There we go. So if there's an enemy down here, the enemy will ambush by using their ambush power on here, hitting everyone in the leader's row area. So if one person had gone all the way out ahead here, then they would be the only person to take that attack, and then the enemy would go above that section with a relevant card there. And in 2-player game, they'd only need to take 2 damage. In a 3-player, they'd take 3. Well, it'd be more actually, because they're a level 5. So as you can see, as the levels go up, they will take more damage. And then these cards, if you are the person who gets the loot from this battle, you will simply flip these over, and that is what you will win. Usually they will give you points if you can fit them. So you then do the end of the round, and then you do it all again. It's going to last up to 6 rounds here. When the boat gets to here, that's the last round. And it can go more if a certain event happens. I've not seen that event yet. Depending on if anyone's reached the boat or not, there are two different scoring methods, but they both are kind of working on how much damage you have on your convoy or how many uncontaminated survivors you have. So that is the last Aurora, an InfoBoxing with a how to play and a look at the components in real life. We can flick back to that camera now. And I've managed to fit everything from the base game and the plastic miniatures expansion in here. There is another expansion available which takes place as though you've missed the ship, and it's all available to order or pre-order. I think the plastic miniatures have sold out now on the Zatu website, so do check that out. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon. So thank you very much for watching Zatu Games. We hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications, and remember we stream live on Twitch and on Facebook, and we're on all the other social media too. And we have a probably award-winning podcast, I don't know if it's won any awards, with Andy Bush from Absolute Radio, wherever you get podcasts, called Bush's Board Game Thing. See you next time.